Oh my goodness. This is every single time I started to record this, I have something weird happen. So, this is the brand new Diablo 2 character for this year. I am trying so hard not to keep having to look over to my right. Our cat Zesty has just gotten neutered yesterday. So, he's got cone treatment on. So, if you hear that sound, it's him doing something dumb. He really doesn't like it. I have no idea what his deal is. So, anyways, this is episode 102 of our Diablo series. This year is the very first ever. 100% I'm committed. I have put a ring on it. I am ready to get married. I am ready to have 15 children and then die at the age of 35. I'm ready for it. I'm not 35, I'm 31 as of recording this. But anyways, I played Diablo 2 since 2011, and I have never, not once, I have never pushed a druid past normal Act 1. It has just never happened. I always started druid and then I quit. Literally within Act 1. I just never do it. It's never going to happen. Until today. So, it's actually 11/26/2025, so it's the day before Thanksgiving. It took me that long to make a druid and actually do it. Those of you who don't know, I love me my Diablo 2. I always say it, I have never had an interest in playing druid. I just don't know what it is. Something always weird happens. Something makes me not want to play anymore. Like, usually it's like the third or second character in a season back when I first started playing, and I just get burned out and say, nope, we're done. But this time it's not the case. And yes, I am recovering from a cold, so if I do sound a bit off, that's why. I'm going to do my best here. So, alright, last year we did my favorite class, which is Amazon. I always say, mechanically, it's probably going to be Summon Necro, but everyone likes Summon or Necro. I mean, okay, that's not true. Not everybody likes it. But it's my favorite mechanically. My favorite character, nostalgically, design-wise, everything is always going to be anything Amazon. I've never had an interest in Druid. It's something about it just really rubs me the wrong way. And even when I was working on the character sheet, which I have in front of me that I've written out, I still think it's not going to be as good as it probably could be. Now, I know I haven't posted what should I do because I wanted to choose this for myself. Now, last year the character was twinked, meaning I had free reign to my entire inventory of tools, runes, everything. Everything was fair game. This year, all from scratch, because I want to have the true druid experience, okay? Halloween was invented by the Druish, don't we know? So we got to have the full real deal experience. Now, I have not played Diablo 4, I think is the most recent one that's came out, and I think Druid was recently thrown in there, probably slapdashed if I had to guess. I don't know. Those of you who don't know, I absolutely hated Diablo 3, burned any bridges with me for the series past these two games and mods, so I don't know. Maybe Druid plays like this, I don't know. So, what are we going to call ourselves? Toblerone, of course. I didn't name this character. This was actually my boss's suggestion. I asked her, I'm like, does Toblerone sound like a good druid name? And she goes, I guess. I mean, yeah, kind of does sound a little fancy. So I said, yep. So I did not make the name. So Toblerone is our druid. Now, what kind of druid am I going to be playing? Because as I usually ask you guys for the wonderful advice that you always give me, which is always the joke option of Carl or something stupid that I choose. No, you don't get a fucking say in this. I choose the build. From now on, I'm your mommy, okay? I'm choosing the build, and I'm going to choose a fire druid. Now, there are 3 trees. This much I do know, alright? I may be pretty stupid when it comes to druid in this game, but I do know that there is 3 trees. Okay, I can count. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I know what they are. I do know vaguely what druids can do in terms of ability, whether it be through MedianXL or O skills or whatever. Like, obviously I know what Oak Sage is. Where the hell is it? I know what Oak Sage is. It's part of Kata, I'm pretty sure. Or Hodo, sorry. I know what Oak Sage is, and we'll talk about it later. So there's 3 trees. There's Summoner, Shapeshifter, and Elemental. I was really tempted to make a Summoner, if I'm honest. But it's not going to be as good as melee summoning. Or sorry, necro summoning. I was tempted to make a Shapeshifter, but I'm also like, well, Barbarian's better. And I was tempted to make Elemental, but I'm like, well, Sorceress always does better. So to make things simple, you're probably thinking, oh, I know exactly what Seth's going to do. He's going to do Tornado Druid. No, fuck that. I'm a real man. I'm going to be using Volcano. All right? This is something that I have always seen in Diablo 2, like on paper. Never seen what it looks like. I have no earthly idea what the hell this is. It just sounds badass. And looking at it in general, I can see that it's split damage between physical and fire. Therefore, I know for a damn fact I will not have to worry about immunities as hardcore as a sorceress will. This is honestly the biggest tempting skill in Diablo 2 all across the board for Druid that made me want to make this character this year. Now, I know you're probably thinking, now Seth, why didn't you want to be a shapeshifter? Because I'm still uploading it, but it was back in June I did that MedianXL playthrough. I did a melee character, a melee necro all the way through Abyss and Skosglen. I don't want to play a melee character this year. And Shapeshifter, I do understand this much. Shapeshifter is pretty much just, like, from what I understand, it's basically just Barbarian with, like, a new skin. Like, I know when you transform, it's just a visual effect. It's not actually, like, a different thing. You still use your weapons. Summoning, I was tempted, but like I said, I just don't think it's as good as the damn Necro. And you know, this is the general consensus with many people in Diablo 2, myself, in terms of being a outsider to Druid. It's a really jack-of-all-trades, master of none. But in saying that, we're going to find out. So let's talk about what we're going to do for this year. We're going to do Firestorm! That's going to be our very first skill, obviously. I do know what this is because I always start off with this skill and then I think, oh, this is really cool. I lose interest. So we're going to level Firestorm up to 20. We're going to put 1 point into Molten Boulder. Now, fuck Molten Boulder. And you want to know why? Because it's the same graphic that Vile Blood uses in MedianXL and it's bullshit. Oh, by the way, it's not that good. I have used it before. Fissure. We're also going to put 20 points into Fissure, and I'll explain why as well when we're all done. So Fissure, I do know what this is because it's a skill it's a kind of a thing in MedianXL. It's a Bloodzon skill in that game, except I think it's called Fire Pit. So it's basically like you click on something and it just does damage. I understand what this is. But it is all fire damage. And then Volcano, I'm going to assume that this is... I've never seen this. I don't want to spoil it. This is... We're going to put 20 points into this as well. This is our main damage I want to apply. From what I understand, it's just like Meteor, but probably cooler. That's what I'm going to guess. Armageddon, I'm not really going to put points into because it's probably... I don't know. From what I looked at, just in terms of like some basic build outlines, it doesn't seem to be that good. It's more, from what I understand, this is more of a PvP skill, and I'm not really into that shit. So we're just putting 1 point into there, mainly for the synergies. Arctic Blast, we're going to be putting 1 point into this. Now, I'm not using this because I want it. We're going to put 1 point into that, and then 20 points into Cyclone is the idea here. Or sorry, Cyclone Armor. This is very similar to Bone Armor for Necro. I do have a vague idea of what this is going to be like, because, like I said, I played Summoner Necro since the dawn of time. This cannot be that complicated. This is going to be our armor. We're going to put 20 points into that. We're not putting a single point into furry garbage because I'm not a furry and I'm not garbage. Now this is where it gets a little bit weird. I was tempted to get a summon because I just was thinking, well, maybe I want Poison Creeper or maybe this, but you know, I really wanted to get Poison Creeper at first because you guys know how much I absolutely want to make sure I have a poison build, but I just never do it. But we're going to go with Oak Sage. I actually know what this is because you get it with Heart of the Oak, which is a O skill I have on a few characters in this whole thing. Now, Oak Sage also is very similar to, I think they're called Fire Elementals in MedianXL. They use the same graphic, I'm pretty sure. This is just going to give us some more life, and I'm all about that life. So, like I said, we're going to be going 20, 1, 20, 20, 1, 1, 20. Nothing in there. And then 20 points into Oak Sage. If I get really pissed off, I might try to do Poison Creeper, but we'll see. So, what are our stats going to look like? Well, I don't know. This is where it gets interesting. So, we're going to be playing as a caster that can rely on Fire Skill plus skills, which is an uncommon mod, but it's not like super uncommon. So I'm going to be looking out for basically strength to gear. All my points are going to be pretty much going to be into vitality. And then we're going to try and get faster cast rate. I do have the frame data written down here. The most we can get is 10 frames, which is 163 or 103. I can't really read my own handwriting. I'm going to assume it's 103. 103% FCR is the fastest this character can get up to. And that's not super bad. It's a pretty average casting frames. We're not going to be as good as probably a sorceress if I had to guess. But yeah, that's about it. I have never done this before. This is so... I don't like it. It's going to be weird. Alright. 13 minutes in and you're now just fucking leaving camp? Good God, what's wrong with you? What does he say?
So it begins.
So it begins. Oh, how fitting. So I will obviously have to start off by hitting things to death, and my goodness. Oh, I have not played Diablo 2 in over half a month. Or sorry, half of a year. It feels very weird. I've been playing Minecraft for the past like few days. Oh, and we are running in Plugy, I forgot to mention. But I think you guys get the gist of how we're gonna be... Am I punching things? Do I even have an item? Oh, oh duh, I hit W. So, I really haven't been playing anything other than Minecraft and, that's about it. I really haven't been playing a lot of games lately. Currently, as of making this, we're in the process of doing the Blair Witch Project. I've been doing a lot of the B-roll stuff, and, I don't want to spoil too much for that. It's a lot of fun I've got planned out. Level 2 already. We are fucking fantastic. We are slam jamming this shit. And do not comment, Seth, you should have done this, you should have done this. So, I know that. Whatever I did wrong, I've already probably atoned for my sins. I always say I finish the character before it gets posted. It does not take me very long when I get started on a Diablo 2 character to finish it. Usually, I try to start uploading around once I hit the end of normal. So, no matter what, the character's done by the time you're seeing, like, the first video, probably. So don't hold your breath and be like, did you know you could do this? Well, the chances are I've probably already done it. Let's start putting some points into our Firestorm! Zesty, are you good? Okay. He really hates this cone. It is so funny. I mean, it's not funny, but, you know. So let's start pumping into Vit. And then the next level, we're going to go with Strength. And yes! Gimme. I need that shit. Alright, Firestorm, I do remember, yeah, this is kind of a tracking skill. It's not great, but what we're going to be trying to do is get our fire tree pretty much synergized with itself, and get some plus skill gear, and then we're going to try and get, oh, there's the Den of Evil. And we're going to try and get as much plus to fire skills. I mean, I didn't look up any guides. I looked up what are the common... I know that for a fact, if you want an easy mode of Diablo 2, you play the game through as a Cyclone Druid because they face literally zero adversity. And we talked to Flava Flav. She takes you to the cold plains. And I'm going to go back and get some stamina pots in a minute. Oh... I love playing Diablo 2. Every time I start it off, it is always the best thing ever. And oh wait, we have to do it. It's required by law.
I am a Carl.
Vroom, vroom. Okay, good. We got that out the way. I'm glad we had this conversation. All right. So yeah, we're going to try and get as much plus skill gear as I can muster. I'm probably going to go with caster rune words. Our first obvious goal is to get, I think, Tal F, which is going to be stealth. That's just kind of the, you know, the baby's first, you know, thing you want to do in Diablo 2. I have used this skill before. I have used Firestorm! I have used it before in the past. It's not very good. I have used Fissure, and I know it's instantly better than this. So that's what I'm going to try and get my points into. Like I said, I'm not a scrub when it comes to Diablo 2. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly where I'm going. I'm clicking all over the place, holding down the shift key. I'm losing all that fucking defense doing it, but you know what? I don't care. So it's great. But, yeah. I want to make sure that we get... Hi, Zesty. As much... God. What? Oh my goodness, you're so scared by everything right now. I want to get as much FCR, and I do have all the breakpoints written down. That way I don't have to keep referencing it. Those of you who don't know, you want to hit past your breakpoints for your cast rates, your hit recovery, all that stuff. I don't really worry about hit recovery on, let's say, a melee character as much, but hit recovery is nice to have as a side option for a caster because you at least can survive a decent chunk of damage. But since we're going to be using Cyclone armor, I'm not really worried about that as much, because if we can get Cyclone armor, that means we can at least survive a few hits before we actually have to worry about it, and the less I have to think, the better. Right? Right. So let's go ahead and put points into strength for this level. Blammo. I'm probably not going to need more than 100 or so strength. And I don't need to have any prereqs, but level 6. So we'll put another point into Firestorm just to get started. Oh, I'm sorry. Firestorm! You have to say it like that every time. until I can't remember to do it, and then, you know, it's whatever. But we'll talk about my day in a minute. It's not very exciting. So the biggest hurdles for this character are going to be, obviously, fire immune. I'm really going to want probably meditation aura as like a first early game, kind of mid-game rune word for my paladin. I'm going to go for paladin for holy freeze because I don't know. It's just I'm lazy. I don't really have any other excuse other than I'm lazy. Does that check out? Good. I'm gonna punch these big beasts in the body. Oh, and finally a piece of armor. Good lord. Actually, let's see what the sash is all about. Probably garbage. +1 to strength. It's pretty bad. And yeah, this cold is still kicking my ass. It's been about a week. It's pretty much gone. It's just the cough is all I got left over and some dry throatage, but whatever. Could be worse. Alright, we got some booties. Hot damn, we are making some gains. So if I had to guess any items in particular, our first big boy item we're going to want to get is going to be Skins of the Viper Magi. That is like diet, like just starting gear in general. You can pretty much comfortably finish the game, at least up to Nightmare, on most casters with that. But I also get the option of having some cool plus to fire skill. Hi, Zesty, can you not be up here? Yeah? Can I help you? Yeah? Okay then. I was worried about this whole time. Anyways, so Skins of the Viper Magi would be great. String of Ears would be really good. Shaco would be a good endgame item. It's a good endgame item in general, but probably Spirit is going to be one of our first things. There is a few Druid things that also raise fire skills naturally. I do know that. It's been a while since I've ever even bothered to look at Druid stuff, but from my understanding, there is a few items that will give us some half-decent fire plus skills, and whatever sorceress items that are meant to be for Fire Tree, I can actually make use out of because, well, you know, I'm cool like that, or should I say, I'm hot like that. Anyways, that was such a clever joke. You're supposed to fucking laugh! Anyways, I'm really excited to get started on this year. This is so awkward. I just want to get jumping straight into casting, but I know if I spend all my points into anything else, it's going to be a huge mistake. And do not look like a scrub. Don't die on Corpse Spire, Seth. Come on. You can do this. You don't need to put more Yeah! Short staff. Give me that beef jerky. Alright, cool. So these should be our last 3. Yep. And this is perfect. We'll get our free skill point. And we should be level 4 shortly after this. I'm not going to put it on plus players until... Oh, wow, that was quick. Shit. Alright, we can get the heck out of here. Well, let's get our free skillies.
Is that all of them?
I don't even care what he's saying. He's saying furry stuff. Let's get our Kashi breakfast cereal free summon.
Welcome.
Cool, she came in a box. She's a free prize. Oh, that's not till you kill a Blood Raven. Duh. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to a thing I said. I don't know anything about Diablo 2. Put another point into Firestorm. Why not? We're at level 4, so I guess we'll just keep putting it into Firestorm for now until we can get to 6. We can get an Oak Sage. And then I'll put one into Oak Sage. I don't want to skimp on strength really early, and I don't want to skimp on... See, I'm so used to having just played median, so I'm very nervous. Poison res, cool. I should probably see what this is, because this actually might be good. We could pretty much use anything, and that's what I'm kind of banking on. This probably isn't going to be very good. +2 to energy. Okay, it's probably instantly better, and it's got a lot of res, and it's got damage to undead. Sure, man. Sign me the fuck up. And that's Paladin. I can't make use out of that. What am I doing? I can control click, Seth. Good lord. Alright, so at least we'll be able to use this crappy staff for a while. And we're going to head and see how this plays out. Yeah, mana consumption's still pretty bad, but oh well. It is what it is. Until we get at least some decent... You know, this is the thing. I don't really know what a druid's stat allocation's like because I've never made one. This is our very first one. I really enjoyed playing through as a barbarian, and you guys probably know I don't like to do cookie cutter bullshit builds that everybody uses. I'm sure someone was probably gonna say, "Oh, is Seth really gonna lame it out and use like fucking Cyclone Druid?" No, God no. You see, that's like as much fun to me as playing like Hammerden. I just don't find that very fun. Like, I've played through as Hammerden before. I don't like it. It was my first Paladin, and I just didn't enjoy it. Is this socketed? Yeah, perfect. We have our base item. That's great. Oh god, I don't want to get scrubbed up here. That'd be horrible. Oh! Man, this champ pack's kicking my ass. I'm not really a fan of this. But yeah, we can really make use out of like sorceress gear that normally isn't sorceress restricted. Stuff that necros can use. I'm pretty sure wands I should be able to make use out of. I don't think wands are... Well, I know they are in Median, but I know that in Vanilla D2, wands are a universal caster item, so I should be okay in finding those. So I have a pretty large pool of items I can use, and since we're not doing Shapeshifter, I don't have to worry about melee gear and dex limits and all that shit, so I actually get to literally be a little loosey-goosey for once, which is actually kind of nice. It's a little forgiving. We can get rid of this shit. It's gonna break. Get that crap out of here. I'm so used to, like, Median where I don't have to ever look at the inventory. It just sort of accumulates items and then I just do whatever. So if I remember correctly, the best way to deal damage with Firestorm is to, yeah, this is where we want to be. I kind of want to get the next waypoint first and then do this. Oh, I don't have any scrolls. No, those plus skills are only necro, but I can make use out of the other stuff on them, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check.
I can't use this.
Oh, it's not level 6. I'm not strong enough yet. I want to be at least one more level before I do Blood Raven, because I am pretty rusty in terms of my Diablo skills as well. You've probably noticed that by now. I haven't even played RuneScape in about 2 or 3 weeks. Sailing just dropped, which I don't want to say is bad, because I haven't logged in to try it. It actually looks pretty sick. You guys know my stance on sailing probably already, but if you don't, I think sailing should never have been added. It was a dumb joke that everyone said, "Lol, make it real," and then here we go. So I have to admit, I've been thoroughly shocked. I know I can't use orbs. Orbs are sorceress only. I know that much for a fact. Oh, keys. I don't have any keys yet, do I? Fuck it. We'll just start taking the loose stamina pots, and we'll buy some after we kill Blood Raven. I don't know. I'm kind of shocked they actually made something that's comparable to a thing that's not just a dumb joke. And they added more than just, "Lol, we know what lufting is." I'm kind of a little shocked. You know, call me a cynic, but I really don't think RuneScape players are that smart. And I am one of them, so I say that with full authority. And I I hate to say it, if you give people a dumb joke option, they will always vote for it. And, I don't know, man. I think that it was inevitable that people were going to choose the dumb joke option. And here we are. Fuck it. I will take this. What level are we? 5? We'll just keep on firestorming. I don't mind. So, yeah, I don't know. They added a ton of shit. And, I'm actually kind of amazed they pulled through with such... You know, I was kind of expecting it to just be lol, you sail a boat and you get XP, and they actually made it kind of a thing. I'm a little bit shocked. Oh, I don't even have enough for scrolls? Jesus. I probably don't need this many healing pots. I definitely think, from what I've looked at, it was a good inclusion. But I still think I would have rather had shamanism over sailing any day. I voted for shamanism, for those of you curious, but, you know, everyone wanted the damn sailing joke. I think there should have honestly been a reattempt at fixing summoning's mistakes, because I still think summoning was fine. It was just training it was dog shit. Because summoning made sense. There was, like, PvP summons, there was utility summons, there was PVM summons, there was farming summons. You had everything. You had weight capacity summons, you had a lot of variety with summoning in RuneScape. And then it was just really bad to train. And that was where the problem lies. You know, I didn't really care about dungeoneering being added. I thought that was fine, so I can't say, oh, well, how are they going to make a skill out of it? Well, they did okay, I guess, right? I don't know. I can't be that bad. And if you're like, why are you clearing out the area? Usually you don't do this. This is because I need the XP, and you know, I don't know what I'm fucking doing, so I need to make sure I get as much free shit as I can right now, so I don't have to die later. I'm really paranoid about making a new character from scratch, and I always want to play it thoroughly. So... But yeah, I'm pretty excited to actually get into sailing. Like, I like how sailing is now more... So I've glanced over a lot of the activities already. I've glanced over the reward tree so far. And like I said, it's 11:26, so I'm pretty sure sailing has only been patched, like, so far, like, with some hot fixes in this weekly patch, which I haven't read yet. But I think it's fine. Like, if you fundamentally want to make sailing good, you have to admit, how do you make a skill about sailing a boat? Because it couldn't just be sailing a boat for 300 hours. It had to have some use to it. And I really kind of just wish it was an expansion of construction. But it's kind of shaping out to be that already, so I can't say it's the worst thing ever. I don't know. I think it shouldn't have been included, honestly. I really wish shamanism got a shot, but maybe next time, right? I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about it anymore. I've already got my angry energy out, but I think what I have looked at looks quite good. There's a clear idea of progression with not just you sail in a boat and you get XP, which is I think what everybody, including myself, was worried it was going to end up being. Because let's be real, I saw the tech demos and I'm like, okay, they have some really jank looking some sailing animations and not really a skill. But whatevs, right? I'm gonna put this here and go back for a second. And I was a little bit concerned because I was like, well, all this... I was really starting to worry it was going to become basically another Project Zenaris, you know? Where there's this huge like, what is this? Like, I want this for the res. This is fine, but yeah, whatever. Fuck, it's too late. You know, I was like, is this gonna be like Project Zenaris, where there was like a bunch of hype, and this isn't a bad dagger. I mean, it's pretty bad, but yeah, whatever. Because that just, I think, is on indefinite hiatus now. And I'm like, you know, it doesn't even shock me. Because that was kind of a bad idea. Let's be real. I don't think Project Zenaris was going to ever float past the ideas phase. And I don't think they should have put as much development as they even bothered putting into it. Because that's just a bad idea. I really don't think it was a good idea from the get-go. Zesty, okay, you're gonna go down? Alright. He wants to take that damn thing off. It's horrible. I know. We can't take the cone off. I was worried it was gonna be pretty shit. And that Jagex wasn't gonna take it seriously. It was gonna be this kinda dumb, like, jokey thing. But you know what? I give them a lot of credit. They actually have went the distance. They've actually done something. And it doesn't seem to be a huge mess. And that's as much as we could all ask. I saw one video today that was something about... Oh, let me just get adjusted here. Sailing is just a very big skill version of One Small Favor. And I'm like, you know, I actually kind of like that quest. So that kind of makes me feel a little hopeful for my own self. But let's go ahead and pop all this stamina. We should be able to get all the stony field mapped out. Can I wear this? Because oh, come on. I'm like 1/3 barbarian. Alright, come on. Why you gotta be racist, game? You know, I was like, well, the worst part, in my opinion, is sailing is now... I don't like... This is something that I never got to experience in RuneScape Classic, or whatever you want to call it, RuneScape 2, because I played during a time when summoning had just came out. I literally started my membership the week summoning dropped. So, to me, summoning was just already in the game. I mean, I'd played about a year or two as free-to-play, so I knew how to play the game, all that shit before, but, you know, to me, summoning was new. And so, having quests and shit around it based into summoning was fine. I didn't really care. But in old school, we haven't had a single new skill ever. So having a skill that is brand new... You know, I don't really care about the max people. Like, oh, and now my max cape is invalidated. It's like, oh well, I'm sorry. I don't care. Oh my god, we have got some nasty start. This has been really brutal so far. I've gotten some horrible mobs. Like, these are hard. I don't know what the hell I did to the world, but apparently roll the hardest mobs you can think of right off the bat is the obvious answer. But yeah, I wasn't worried about it, you know what I mean? Like, because I'd already seen a RuneScape where the newest skill was already in the game. So for me, it wasn't like, oh shit, now I gotta adjust around it. Now I think we can get Oak Sages. Or do I want Arctic Blast? 8 to 16. No, I'm not gonna use that. But then that's at 12, and then Fissure's at 12. I'm gonna spec into Fissure first. Then we'll get one Oak Sage. Let's go ahead and put this on N. That's going to be our right click, I think. Yeah, we'll put this guy on Z. So this guy should help us out with some life, I hope. Good God. Alright, anyways, yeah, so like, for me it wasn't... Do these... No, these don't have a timer. What am I thinking? Let's put this on normal attack as Z. That way we can just switch back and forth till I get some other mana increasing stuff, and it'll help out a bit. But, yeah, for me it was like, cool, I don't have to worry. But now, all new content that comes out in old school is going to be based on... I could put that on... Yeah, let's do that. I'm more comfortable with this on Z for now, and then, yeah. That's fine. That's much better. That feels infinitely more comfortable. Okay. So, like, it's already in the game, and so now everything that comes out after it, I'm going to have to adjust to. Like, so all new quests are going to come out, and they're going to have, like, sailing wrecks, and, it's a skill I'm going to have to train. To be honest, I'm probably just going to do the starter quest and then Tears of Guthix it every week, but whatever. You know, blitz through the early game of it so I don't have to do it. But I'll still have to, like, learn the skill fundamentally. Because obviously when Leagues comes around, I want to actually do Leagues again this year. I didn't do Gridlocked, if you guys are curious. Gridlocked came out when I was on vacation, and I was like, nah, this ain't what I'm about, man. I'm not a Gridlock guy. It didn't interest me because, let's be real, Echoes was pretty good. that was like how you, that's how you make a fucking Leagues, man. I'm telling you, I was fucking hooked on Chronics with that shit. I could barely put it down to play this year's Diablo 2 character. Well, actually, no, I did Mounds as fast as I could so I could play the Echoes League. It was fucking fun. It was awesome. I was beating the shit out of a Raxer with, like, Rock Shell. It was amazing. It was a very surreal experience. But yeah, it teaches you a lot about the game that you don't know. And having the opportunity... And I mean, yeah, I'm like 2 weeks behind. I'm not really worried about it because... I mean, Jagex has a pretty good record on, like, putting out stuff in the game that is actually, like, not completely... Oh, I haven't even mapped my fucking tome yet. There we go. Ain't no Tamoma girl living here. They're pretty good about putting, like, stuff out and it's actually stable and not breaking, but I usually like to let the meta sit and stuff like that, because I did Varlamore when it first came out, all but, like, Coliseum. Like, I did all the stuff in that, and I was like, fucking... Man, I went ham on that. And a lot of it changed, obviously, as I was playing it and then after. But, you know, I learned it, you know what I mean? It's fun new experience. It shakes up your stuff. The moment I saw they added, like, new coral patches and shit like that, I was like, oh, man, this is going to be so fucking cool. I love the new idea of Armadillon potions. That's so fucking cool. And it'll be, oh, it's like 2 points less than a Theodolin brew. Yeah, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper, and you can keep one more inventory spot. Like, I don't know about you, man, but no herb required. If I remember correctly, it's like, what, Umbral Coral, I think is what it uses. Like, Umbral Coral and, like... Shit, I don't remember what the other item is. I haven't looked. It's something you can get while sailing, I know that much. Some shard of fucking dick hard, I don't remember what it is. And I was like, okay, you piqued my interest. A new potion that is... You see, but that's kind of my biggest problem with sailing as a skill. I don't think you should have really made a skill out of a thing like this. It just doesn't really track. But that's just me being bitchy, right? But it was... I mean, it added, what, Farming Slayer... like, I think there's, what, eight new potions and extended or not anti-venom, extended stamina pots, which is fucking a fantastic idea because that's great for skilling with things like Blast Furnace where you're... I don't know, I tend to use stamina pots when I'm doing Blast Furnace and some other shit that I don't really like to think while I'm doing. Mainly like running pots, not pots, but running, oh god, what are they called? Orbs. I hate making orbs. It's a pain in the ass. There we go, finally. Shit. You know, that's whatever, though. That's a me problem, not a you problem. Don't worry about it. I kind of should have ID'd that. Oops. Alright, nice. A stamina charm right off the bat. Fucking rad, man. 3 to 10. But it's got res. I don't want to get rid of it. And I think I'll buy a few more mana pots. Good enough. And we'll be on our way to kill what's-her-nuts. Let me take a drink in while I'm on the way. I've got quite a few beverages next to me. We're doing this for the fucking long haul. So, but yeah, armadillo pots look sick. Because it might not sound like, oh, it's not meta. It is if you're using Cerebrews and like ranging setups, because it means you do not have to bring a separate set. You can just put fucking armadillo pots in and just slam it in there and go. That, and you don't have to rebuff, so it's one less thing you've got to do. Like, that's big. I mean, you still have to super restore, yes. But it's, you know what, I don't think there's any intrinsic doubt to it. Like, it's a great idea. I'd like to try it. You can be like, then why are you playing Diablo 2? Because damn it, I want to play Diablo 2. Why you gotta be up my ass about it, alright? Don't fucking tell me what to do. So I might have over-prepared for Bloodraven here, I think. She's not really uncooperative, but I would like to auto-target her better, which is what I believe Fire Pit does. Fire Pit, like I said, works a lot like... I cannot remember what it's called. It's a Bloods-on skill in MedianXL that's using the same mechanics, where you just click on something and it just basically dies. And I kind of like that idea. There we go. So Bloodraven's done, and we'll explore these two dungeons. And we'll go in here. Boots are just... bullshit. Okay, that's fine. Oh, we should get our familiar while we're up here, too. That'll help us out, kind of. Give me my breakfast cereal prize. Thanks. Yo.
Greetings.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Probably nothing worth a damn. You also want to sell throwing knives early game, because they're actually very good in terms of 1 to dex and poison res. This is... Damn it, they're both good. But that one's got dex. So I don't care. Alright, but yeah, it's like... I really want to like sailing, but I think that fundamentally it's just a transportation method, and that's kind of what really ruins it. You see, Dungeoneering, you can argue, what about Dungeoneering? Well, having played Dungeoneering when it came out, Dungeoneering was basically a diet raids engine, which, say what you will, but it was actually pretty fucking fun. I dismissed it a lot more than I actually enjoyed it back in the day. There was a lot of really good potential in that system, and I actually really enjoyed Dungeoneering. The reason it works in there is because all of Dungeoneering was in one spot. It was, if I remember correctly, it was in like near the God Wars dungeon area, or maybe it was a separate area, I can't remember. and everything you did was in the dungeoneering area. So it wasn't nearly as spread out as sailing is right now. Sailing is just like kinda all over the place in terms of skill usage. Because in dungeoneering, you used all of your skills a lot like you would do in modern raids in old school RuneScape. And I don't know about modern RuneScape in general, but I'm assuming it's the same thing. I have no gloves. I will take those. So it's like, I'm running out of fucking space. I need another buckler. I need another buckley. Let's actually ID that armor and then put it on. It's probably better than nothing. Fire res, cool. Good enough. I need all these bucklers, damn it. But yeah, it's like all those skills you'd use were exclusively for dungeoneering. A lot like how you'd use skills in raids now. So that's fine. I might be rambling. I'm really tired, by the way. It's like 8 o'clock. And it's after work. But yeah, I really just enjoy dungeoneering because it was a good... I think the reward was a rapier. I think I've talked to a few people in our clan about this before. I'm like, yeah, I think the reward was a rapier. And it was like best in slot or close to best in slot at that time. That's like the oldest that's like the last thing I remember about like RuneScape 2 or RuneScape 3, whatever. In terms of, I don't know, like, see, this is the problem. It's ultimately it's just a bigger boat. You get a big boat, and I guess getting a big boat is pretty cool, but damn it, that's like the worst part. Is like, why couldn't it have been called something else? I just feel like that sailing just kind of feels like a lame name for it. Maybe I'm just being too negative. Fire res. What are you doing, Zesty? I hope you're not doing something terrible. I really do. I don't want to know.